What's up, YouTube? I know that I said my channel is going to be about me building my van out to be a living dwelling, full-time living dwelling. But I have something that I have to address real quick. It might help some people, it might not help some people, but this thing, it's been bothering me all night. See, the thing I'm talking about is called triggers. For those that don't know what I'm talking about, a lot of people have triggers that set them off. Number one, you never know what a person has been through in life. You don't know what bridges they have to cross every day. You don't know certain elements that they have to deal with just to get through a day of peace. Okay? Now, for me to, let me move the chair back a little bit. Okay, now for me, to address this, some things have been happening at my job, and I've been letting them slide a whole lot. A lot. And it just so happened that something happened yesterday, and maybe it was an accident, maybe it wasn't, but the whole thing was that it was the last accident that could have happened to me, because the fact is that I felt overwhelmed that it kept happening too many times. And to the young lady that I probably blew up at, I apologize, but it just so happens you caught the ending part of it. Okay, of the blow up. Like when you feel like you're drowning, and then you get to that point to where you're taking your last breath. That's what it felt like. Okay. So let me back up a little bit for y'all so you can understand what I'm talking about. From when I was in, let's say, from the 2nd grade all the way up to the 10th grade, I got bullied when I was living in New York. I got bullied from the 2nd grade all the way up to the 10th grade by the same person. And it was hard to get away from this person, because that person also went to the same schools I went to, and also lived in the same projects that I lived in, and also lived 2 buildings away from where I used to live. So, to say all of that is that when you get bullied so many years and you're so terrified that, well, let me back up. First of all, I'm my only child, okay? And only child with a single parent. Okay, yes, I do have a father, but at the time my father, wasn't living with us or nothing like that. Okay, and had a mother that was more into her life. Even though I know that she loved me, she had a certain way of showing it because of the fact of the way that how the love was shown to her as a young person. That's kind of hard for me to really get into, but the whole thing is that I basically raised myself. And for a young person with no brothers and sisters, cousins, I lived in New York, cousins, majority of the whole family was living in Washington, D.C., Maryland. Wasn't nobody living in New York. So basically, I was on my own. And like I said, you don't have a father figure. So you don't have that person around to really show you how to deal with this bulliness. Back in the day, You know, I'm a 1960. I'm a 1966 baby. Back in the day, the parent always said this. Don't you come running in this house crying or anything. You come running in here, I'm gonna send your ass right back out there. That's all well and good if you're home to do that. You know, but a lot of the stuff that I went through was really terrifying. I mean, really terrifying. There's stuff that people in my family don't even know what I had to go through, you know. And then on top of that, the junior high school that I went to was real racist back then. And it's like, if you get caught, you couldn't do no after school activities like playing sports or anything like that. Or if you missed the school bus, if your school teacher let you out late, you missed the school bus, you had to actually run from the school all the way home so you wouldn't get jumped by the other races. Yes, I'm talking about the real racist stuff where, you know, you can get jumped by grown-ass men and you ain't nothing but a teenager. And they chasing you home, talking about, you know, the N-word, you know, and stuff like that. I'm trying to make it not so graphic. But for me to even speak upon stuff like this, it kind of bring back a lot of bad memories. But I feel that I have to talk about stuff like this to try to get through a lot of stuff that I'm dealing with today. You know, I'm 58 years old now, and all this stuff happened when I was a little kid, you know, a teenager. Like I said, I got bullied, like bullied, beat up, come to my, you know, person to come to my classroom talking about at 3 o'clock, I'm going to whoop you such and such. And I would break down in tears right then and there. I would take another detour all the way home just so I wouldn't run into this person. I wanted to go outside and play. You know, I was into sports real heavily. I wanted to go outside and play sports and whatnot with everybody else. But when I found out, I would walk over to the park and find out that this guy is in the park, I would take myself all the way on the other side of the projects to another park to play sports. And then when I see that he's coming over there, I would leave that park and then come all the way back to the other. You know, that's a lot on a young man, a little kid, you know, fend for himself at that young age. And those things are triggers. Now, like I said, I got bullied all the way up into the 10th grade. 10th grade, my sophomore year, I went out for the football team and went to football camp. And we didn't have a JV football camp, we had a varsity football camp. So I had to go up against varsity players. Talking about people that was 3-4 times my size back then. And I was dealing with it with no problem. I don't know if it's because I loved the sport back then. I loved the sport so much that I was like determined to do stuff. And then I also knew that my mother was into sports and she loved football and stuff like that. So it's like I was trying to, I guess, do the best I can in football. So it would bring us closer together. Maybe she would come to some of my games at the high school or whatever. But the thing is that when you just doing stuff to get love, you don't realize how powerful that can be in you as far as your heart. So for me to say all of this is that when we came back from football camp, the bullying started up again. And it took a team member to say, look, if you don't whoop this dude's butt, He said something else, but if you don't whoop this dude butt, I'm going to tell the coach, and you already know what the coach is going to do to you. He is not going to let you play, or he's going to have you running until your legs fall apart. I didn't even wait until after school. I went straight to the dude's class and started fighting. Went straight to the dude's class, started fighting. It took the teacher, some of the teammates, to pull me off the guy. And once they pulled me off the guy, and I seen what I did to him, everything just came back. When the bell rung, they pulled me out. The dean came and pulled me out. Everybody was like, nah, he been getting bullied by this guy for years and this and that. And as soon as the bell rung, the dean was out there talking to us. And the guy came out the classroom with the other teacher. I pushed the dean to the side, rushed the guy again. I started beating him up again. I started kicking out. Oh, man, I did a world of damage on that guy, a world of damage. And the thing is that it all became from second grade all the way up to 10th grade, all the bullying that I've been through with this guy for years and years, throughout my whole life being young. So the bullying stopped. Ever since then, I never let nobody bully me no more and stuff like that. I've always been head up to people and stuff like that. But my temper, I try to keep my temper under control because I have an angry streak that won't stop. And I think I get that part from my father. And I seen how far my angry streak can take me. And that's one thing I swore I would never want to do again. So I don't get into arguments. If I get into an argument, I only let it go but so far. Then I'll be like, yeah, all right, whatever. Okay, you're right. And I'll walk off, whatever. Letting that person think that I'm a punk, pussy, whatever you want to call me, I don't care. But the thing is that as long as the person don't touch me, I am good. We can argue back and forth all day long, but once you touch me, it's a problem. It's a serious problem. Because when you touch me, I don't go 0, 4, 5, 6. I go from 0 to 1,000 in my anger that quick. So, for me to say all of this, the type of job I have is that I'm a city bus driver. And the thing is that hours are crazy. Sometimes we got to get in there while y'all still asleep. Some of us got to wake up. Some of us got to go to bed at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and wake up at 1 o'clock in the morning just so we can get in there early enough to pull the bus out and make sure that y'all get to work on time. So when we come back on our break, we be tired. And by me being heavy, I know I got sleep apnea. So I try to position myself to where I try not to snore. So lately I've been working these crazy hours, and sometimes when I'm sleeping, my snoring wakes me up. But a couple of times it hasn't. And let me tell you one time this girl hit me on my, as y'all all know, I got a bad wheel. My left knee is out of whack. I need to have that replaced. The whole knee, not parts of it. The whole knee is off-centered and everything. It's bone to bone. And this girl, she hit me in it, and she really didn't know. She's brand new. She really didn't know. So not only that, plus it startled me out my sleep. And I was like, yo. And then when I seen who it was, I said, look, don't do that no more. Don't do it no more. I didn't go into a whole bunch of things, but I just told her don't do it no more. I think somebody explained it to her later on, and she came back and all is well. She said she didn't know, and I like, okay, it's cool, this and that. Second time, another dude did it that was sitting right beside me. And I was like, yo, what is wrong with you, man? What you hitting me for? And I gave him the benefit of the doubt because some people say sometimes he fight in his sleep. So he might have jerked and didn't know that he hit you. I said, okay, fine. I'll go with that, because I remember back in the day when I used to fight in my sleep and the girl that was in the bed with me, I remember one time I woke myself out my sleep pulling her hair. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know because I was fighting in my sleep. See, that's another thing that bullying will do. It'll trigger you while you're in your sleep too. So now this third time, these chairs are far apart. I'm not sitting right next to somebody. It's a space far apart. This dude kicked my leg. And he gonna say, I apologize, bro. I kicked you by accident. I slipped or I fell or whatever. I'm like, nigga, please. Don't hit me no more. Don't touch me no more. All right? And so you hit me in my bad leg. Not only that, you hit me in my bad leg, right? So he said that, he did it by accident. So I kind of like, my temper was going down. But then he said, for real, I might have just saved your life to how bad you was snoring. That made me go right back up again saying, oh, motherfucker, you did this on purpose. So now I had to let him know, look, don't touch me no more, dude. Ever. Don't ever touch me no more. So then, just the other day, another coworker kicked me on the same leg. Now, the girl said that she said I did it by accident. But I'm like saying to myself, how come everybody keep hitting me in my same leg by accident? First of all, why is everybody fucking body touching me, period? That's number one. Regardless if I'm snoring or not, don't touch me. Don't touch me. You shouldn't be touching anybody in there. One thing about me is I might talk a whole lot of bull and I might talk a whole lot of garbage to people, but I never touch nobody. Never. I might talk trap and snap and all that stuff and even curse at some people, but I never touch them. If somebody say they're going to do something to me, I let them know up top. Look, you ain't going to do a damn thing to me, dude, because if that's the case, you can take my uniform now. So now, all of these are triggers. All of these are triggers. I have been talking to an anger management counselor because of this. And see, what people don't realize is when you push me to a limit, there's no turning back. And then when it's time for me to turn back, or when I jump out there and I go that far, all of a sudden, I don't know what's wrong with him. Oh, fuck him, he on some other stuff, this and that, and that, he does this, he does that. No, I can do whatever, but I don't touch no one. And I don't expect for anybody to touch me. When you touch me, you're asking for problems. And these are problems that you really don't want because I'm not going to stop. I don't want to jump out there. I really don't. But once I start, I already know that there's not going to be no stopping me. Okay, let me put it like this. You don't wake up a fucking grizzly bear out his slumber. That's number one. You don't go fucking with a dog while he's trying to eat his food. You see how they attack without thinking? That's how I am. I attack without thinking. And when that happens, there's no turning back. So I'm saying all of this to say, you never know what somebody has been through in their life. And especially if they've been bullied, they're going to try to hurt whoever and whatever is trying to cause any kind of harm to them. Even if you say a threat to them, oh, I'm going to kick your ass, or nigga, I'll hurt you, or this and that, or girl, you just don't know, I'll whoop your ass. You don't know what kind of trigger that can spark. So the best thing to do is just leave fucking people alone. If you don't like them, you don't get along with them, leave them alone. Don't say nothing to them. Turn around, this and that. You know, don't let your pride be the villain. Don't let your pride be your villain to where you end up really getting hurt, or not even getting hurt, or might even go into jail because somebody's trying to hurt you because you just triggered them, but yet you overpower them, and then you end up going to jail because you're not trying to get hurt. So you need to put all that to the side. But see, when a person is angry because they got triggers, it's kind of hard for that person to stop. It really is. So that's enough. Talk your head off enough. That's all. Look out for my next video for the van coming real soon. I'm gonna try to put one out this weekend. So it's Friday today. What's today? The 12th? I think today's the 12th or the 13th. Friday the 13th. Today's Friday the 13th. Oh Lord. What's today's date? Today is Friday the 12th. Okay, today's Friday the 12th. So I'm trying to put one out this weekend. That's all I have to say. Thank you for listening to me. You know, if you want to comment on it, you can. I'm not going to respond to it. I'm not going to respond to none of the comments. This is something that was on my mind. And when I woke up this morning, I was still kind of angry. I didn't even go to sleep really all that tough because it was on my mind so bad and I need to talk it out. And just so happened, this is the best next thing I can do. Anyway, thank you for listening. Talk to you later. Brooklyn Tim out. Don't forget to subscribe. Please subscribe to my channel. Okay? Brooklyn Tim, City the Van Life. Like and subscribe. Subscribe. I said prescribe. Alright, I'm out. Peace.